We have been struggling to go from the expression to a sentence or phrase when there are groups. So I want to go over this now. Anytime we see parentheses, that tells us that we need to use the solution word for that to signal that there is a group. So in order to show the grouping here, I need to use the word product in my sentence. So it needs to be the product of 9 and 7. Now, there are a lot of ways that I can show the subtraction at the end. So let's go over some of those now. So one way I could say this is just the product of 9 and 7 minus f. I also could say f less than the product of 9 and 7, or f subtracted from the product of 9 and 7. Another way I could say this is the difference of the product of 9 and 7 and f. All of these work to show this expression here. Just like in the example above, I need to look at the expression and decide what grouping word I need. Because addition is in parentheses, I need to use the word sum in my in my sentence describing the expression. So the sum of 3 and h, or the sum of h and 3, needs to be in your sentence. Then we have some creative options about how to incorporate the division, with the dividend as 8 and the divisor as the sum, to write this expression as a sentence. I don't want to get too complicated here, so I can say the quotient of 8 and the sum of 3 and h shows me that 8 is my dividend. My divisor is the sum of 3 and h. I can also just state the action here and say 8 divided by the sum of 3 and h. There are other ways that I could write this out. It just gets more complicated when I'm talking about the groups of the sum and all of those things. So both of these are examples. What I want you to always make sure you're doing is to then read your sentence back to make sure it matches the expression. So the quotient of 8 and the sum of 3 and h matches. 8 divided by the sum of 3 and h also matches. I'll come back up here. The product of 9 and 7, yep, minus f, that works. F less than the product of 9 and 7 works. F subtracted from the product of 9 and 7 works. And the difference of the product and f also works.